Hello everyone, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, or just need a little bit more love in my collection. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Louis Vuitton La Beauté release and give you my thoughts. And if you're interested in hearing what I think, please keep watching. So I'm filming at a little bit different time today, and I'm sitting down after dinner. Hopefully I don't have lettuce in my teeth. If I do, sorry. I just went for a nice evening walk. It is a beautiful late summer evening here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Louis Vuitton release because it's been getting a lot of, it's already happened. It's probably way too late, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. It's been released and there have been all kinds of videos on it, and I've really only watched one, and the one that I watched kind of just summed up all of my thoughts for me. So maybe you should just go watch that. It's Alicia Archer. She is an amazing creator. You probably watch her already, but she is a huge Pat McGrath fan. She is a huge makeup artist, beauty brand fan. She is always on the Natasha Denona releases, the Pat McGrath releases, the Issa Mai Beauty releases. She is so forward thinking in makeup and just a really great creator. And she actually went to the Louis Vuitton store in Soho and had the whole experience, I believe, on opening day, or if not opening day, at least close to it. And I'm not going to share her experience, that's her video, but it seemed to be a very luxurious but also very strange experience, and it just kind of encapsulated what this whole sort of quote-unquote debate around Louis Vuitton La Beauté is all about. It's just a really strange experience because I wouldn't even say I'm of two minds about it. I'm just of an I don't really care mind about it, I guess. It just seems like a nothing debate to me. And for a couple of reasons. That's because I, if you're not aware, I have many videos on my channel about the Chanel Le Rouge 31 release, or 31 Le Rouge. I always get that wrong. It's the 31 Le Rouge release. Say that 5 times fast. This was the release that came out. It's come out twice now. They've done 2 versions of this, a satin collection and a matte collection. And I've picked up a coffret twice. And so I have 2 of these in the glass case, and I had 2 of these little coffrets. I gave one away as a gift. But if you buy this whole set, this is a $400 set. So what do you get for $400 from Chanel? You get this beautiful glass case, which is supposedly inspired by the mirrored staircase at Rue Cambon, the apartment that Chanel lived in. You get a refillable, as far as I can tell, all metal component that's magnetic, and that you can only use with this particular, you can only use the refills with this case. You get a beautiful coffret that is, it's supposed to be lacquered. It's got Chanel on the front in the classic font. It's got a big, beautiful mirror, and you get your choice color case, and you get 2 refills. You get all of that for $400 plus tax. If you buy this on its own, it's $295 for the case and the refill. If you buy the refill, which you still need the case for, you're paying $95. So, all of that to say, why are we so upset about the Louis Vuitton release? The LV Rouge matte lipstick. There's 2 lipstick releases in the La Beauté collection. There's a matte and there's a satin, okay? Just like the 31 Le Rouge lipsticks. The mattes and the satins for the full case with the magnetic metal component, which is replaceable, it is $160. $295. $160. I'm not saying this is a bargain. I'm just saying I don't know where the outrage is coming from. Because, and maybe this is because I'm not a regular Louis Vuitton customer. I have a Louis Vuitton wallet. I bought it in Dublin last year when I was on vacation. I love the wallet, and I was really into looking at and thinking about Louis Vuitton pieces for a while. I just could never get over the hump of the coated canvas. But as I said, I did pick up a wallet. It's beautiful, it's blue, it's the coated canvas. It's lasted me a year, and it was expensive, but I still enjoy it. I enjoy a bit of luxury. I don't have anything huge. I don't have any big purchases from Louis Vuitton. I have a couple of perfume samples, and I've looked at their perfumes. They have that bespoke perfume line, which is beautiful. Some of those are just really wonderful scents, but they are super expensive. It's comparable to the Les Exclusifs line from Chanel or the Privé line from Dior. Every single beauty house like Celine and Louboutin and Fendi has come out with a bespoke special perfume line that you can only get in boutiques. And so this has been a long time coming, I think, for Louis Vuitton. I think Louis Vuitton has been around for so long, and it's been around in the popular culture for so long, that it just really surprises me what the reaction has been. And maybe it's because it's been in the popular culture for so long, but still, I feel like Alicia said it really well in her video that the Louis Vuitton La Beauté release really is for the Louis Vuitton customer. And it really is that if you want a piece of Louis Vuitton, but you don't want a trunk, which a lot of us can never afford, and if you don't want a Speedy or a Neverfull or whatever piece of leather or coated canvas that is really popular right now. Of course, Pharrell is the creative director of the men's line. He's doing amazing things. Super respect what he's been able to bring to that brand. And I just, you know, and again, I think I said it in my last video about the Chanel Le Coton Bouton release. It is a piece of something that is attainable if you can't buy a piece of the haute couture, or if you can't buy a purse, bag, whatever. You know, it's that idea. And it's honestly surprised me it's taken Louis Vuitton this long, because they are so in the air, they are so in the popular culture. Like when you think of their logo, that flower and that fleur-de-lis pattern, that, you know, you think automatically LV, Louis Vuitton. So I don't know, I'm a little baffled as to why people are so upset about it, especially the lipsticks, when we have seen Chanel come out with something at a higher price point. And by the way, Dior has also come out with this, I think a $500 price point. And I think that was just one lipstick with a big set of, I don't know, it comes with a set of like a mirrors or something like that. It was one of their really high-end things, and it was $500 more than the Chanel. And maybe it could also be because Chanel has price points and different ranges of price points within its collection. So you can get a lipstick for, I think, around $45 to $50 if you're picking up a Rouge Allure Velvet. This is one of my favorites. It's actually what I'm wearing today. It is 61 Intuitive. You know, it's got the Rouge Allure, the little bouncy clicky packaging. It's not magnetic, but it is, you know, pretty sturdy. It's plastic. It's plastic, but it's got the black and gold. But you know, I can tell the difference between this one, which is light plastic, and this one, which is pretty heavy glass. And is there really a difference between the quality in these two lipsticks? I tend to wear this one more just because I like the color more. I love this color. I love it, but I just don't wear it as much. I don't see any shades in this range. There's 24 shades in the, is this the matte or the satin? And they're all out of stock, by the way. I see 24 shades in the matte, and what do they have for the satin? 24 shades in the matte and 24 shades in the satin, which I think might be even more than the Chanel 31 Le Rouge release. It's beautiful case. It's got a little bit of glass, a little bit of metal. It's got the magnetic, yada yada. I don't see anything in here that isn't wildly unwearable. I see a really good range of colors. As far as the lipsticks go, I just kind of don't understand. I do and I don't. I get that luxury makeup is insanely priced. We have been over this discussion before. Luxury makeup is just not something that a lot of people can stomach. And that I get. That is fine. That reaction from coming outside of the luxury beauty world where you're not used to seeing those things is like, okay. But for other people who have kind of seen this thing before, and people in the beauty community who have seen this before, I kind of don't get that reaction. So, and again, I feel like Alicia Archer feels, where it's like, you can hate all you want on someone who wants to buy this stuff, but at the end of the day, it's your own money and you can spend it how you want, and I can spend it how I want. And there's nothing morally wrong with that. There's nothing morally superior about not buying this lipstick. I mean, I understand a little bit more where they're coming from with the eyeshadows. Okay, so with the LV Ombre, again, it's the French word shades, ombre, you have, let's see, it looks like there are 8 different quads, again, arranged in that little flower pattern that Louis Vuitton has made so famous. And these do not look groundbreaking, but nor do they look incredibly boring either. The refills are $92. Okay, I'll grant you that's a bit expensive. However, Clé de Peau gets away with selling $100 quads. Now, the refills are probably around $70 or $80, and with the case, it is $100 some. Hermes also sells quads for around $110 at this point, and they came out the gate at $105. So we've seen this before, and I can't remember if Hermes are, I think they are refillable. I think they are. And these are too. And so the total price point for the compact, which is a metal compact with a nice looking mirror and the flower print embedded into the metal, I paid $105 for this quad from Guerlain. It is the collab with Pucci that they did last holiday, not this holiday, but the holiday before. $105. It's got beautiful embossing. I've used it once or twice. It's all mattes. It's pretty basic colors. I haven't really opened it in like a year. It's a collector's piece for me. And it's got the signature of Emilio Pucci on it. $105. And this is plastic. There's no metal on here. There might be some metal on this part, but this, all plastic. All on the inside, all plastic. Nice mirror, beautiful mirror, mostly plastic, $105. So I can see where with this compact, where it looks like it's mostly metal, it's refillable, it is a beautiful stylized logo. I can see where they're coming from, where it's refillable. Okay, $250 is the total price point for the compact with the refill. And then you pay what, what did I say, $92 for the refills. I understand the shock at the price point because that is a lot for an eyeshadow. I understand that we are in an incredibly difficult economic time. I'm feeling it. A lot of the people around me are feeling it. Nobody's running out to buy, well, apparently there are some people running out to buy a $260 quad, but that's none of my business. Spend your money how you want. I do understand why people would get a little bit up in arms, have a little bit of sticker shock. However, again, I just don't get the moral outrage about this. And not that you can't be angry at multiple things at the same time, but it seems like we have far bigger issues to be upset about than someone wanting to spend an indecent amount of money on an eyeshadow palette. we have, and I live in the United States, we have so much worse going on right now that I would love to get angry about. Am I excited about the LV release? No, I'm not an LV customer, and that's not because I dislike LV, I'm just not their customer. I am a Chanel customer, and there are problematic things with being a Chanel customer, very problematic things with being a Chanel customer. But I choose to be one, and I will take criticism for that. You know, there are people who are major Dior customers. There are also problematic things with Dior. There's problematic things with being a luxury customer in general. There's problematic things with being a consumer in general. And I'm not trying to conflate that all things are equal and all things are equally bad or good. I just don't see why this particular release has made everyone so angry, except maybe for, I suppose, the timing of it, where it is in the economy right now. But you also have to consider that it's not only Louis Vuitton, it is also Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath Labs, when she came out in 2018 with her first 3 palettes, those things were 8 shadows for $125. And they still sell. They still sell. Those are considered classics in the makeup world. She has come out with, I think, 11 or 12 motherships by now, and everyone who loves Pat McGrath has collected them, and varying degrees of quality and color story, and everyone agrees that the first few were revolutionary and the other ones have been kind of but it still sells. And maybe Pat McGrath Labs itself has kind of faded a little bit because of the formulas and sort of the collaborations that it's done. You know, it's kind of maybe played out its popularity, but this is still Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath, who is still an incredibly visionary and relevant makeup artist in the fashion world. She created that glass skin for Margiela that just made the internet go crazy last year. And, you know, she still has so much to give, and for her to be not only the creative director of her own brand, a legend in her own right, but also to team up with Louis Vuitton, that's really, really special. And I can see where they would I can see where the two coming together is like, that's an incredibly high price point. Louis Vuitton and Pat McGrath. And you can disagree with me if you want, but I think that is also something that needs to be taken into account. And I'm not here to defend high price tags and luxury. Maybe that's what it sounds like. I'm not here telling you need to spend a lot of money on anything. You know my philosophy: spend your money how you want, be careful with how you spend your money, be mindful with how you spend your money, don't overextend yourself, and be careful. But also, spend your money how you want and love what you love. And if someone loves Pat McGrath and they love Louis Vuitton, let them splurge, man. We're at a real weird point in history, and I don't begrudge anyone the joy that they get out of $160 lipstick and a $250 eyeshadow quad. Does it sound ridiculous? Yes. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely yes. But I'm not mad about it. There are a few things that I had to giggle at, though, when I was looking at the accessories. And because the one thing that I was really, really like, I love the LV trunk, you know, the classic trunk, the whole idea of travel and trunks that LV is based on. Their trunks are incredibly rare and incredibly hard to come by and incredibly expensive. And I had to laugh when I saw the accessories, because yes, the trunk lipstick case, this little guy, what are the dimensions on this one? I'm going to show it real quick. Hopefully you can see. This is the little trunk for your lipstick. $2,990. And when I saw that, I giggled, I cackled, I had a little fit where it was just so ridiculous. I mean, $3,000 for this little trunk. Now, what are the 3.8 by 1.8 by 1.9 inches. What is this? Maybe 2.5, so maybe this big. $3 for a little LV trunk. I'm still giggling. But I can't hate, because I remember a couple of years ago when the matte release for the 31 La Rouge came out, the SA that I purchased from offered me a vanity case specifically created for the 31 La Rouge release. And it was a tiny little vanity case with the black quilting and the chain detail for about $2,500 to $3,000 at the time. So again, I'm not seeing the difference here. It's just the whole thing is just so silly. It's silly. It's so silly. And I'm not saying you're being silly if you are saying I would never buy that, because I'm not buying probably the Louis Vuitton release either. And you can say I'm absolutely silly for buying a $400 coffret. I am absolutely silly for that. But what I don't get is the moral outrage. And we spend so much money on so many things. We are a consumeristic society that spends so much money on this stuff, and when it comes to sums like this, I understand the sticker shock, but I feel like we should be used to this by now. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Again, I'm not trying to defend consumerism and luxury. I am just saying that I have seen it so many times that I just don't understand the outrage and what line people have when there are so many lines have already been crossed. And again, it's just don't worry about what other people buy. Just don't worry about what other people buy. It's not your business. And spend your money how you want. And if you want these things and you can afford them, go ahead, if that's what you want. And don't be mad at people just because that's how they want to spend their money. We all work hard for our money, and we all blow off steam in different ways and purchase things that maybe we shouldn't sometime, but it's not worth getting so upset about. It's really not. So that's where I kind of fall on the LV release. And, you know, I understand there are much better things, better causes, better reasons. I understand times are hard, groceries are expensive. I'm not saying none of that matters. I'm just saying it just seems like such a distraction from everything else that is really going wrong with the world right now. And just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. That's where I am. And again, go watch Alicia Archer's video. She will say amazingly more eloquent things than I ever can about all of this. And she's just an amazing creator, and you should probably just go watch her anyway instead of me. But those are my thoughts on the Louis Vuitton release and where I'm coming from and what I think about it. If you care about my 2 cents, cool. If you don't, that's fine. And I hope you will stick around for more videos. I hope you had a wonderful week, and I hope you are looking forward to fall. I had a beautiful Labor Day weekend here in the United States, which is kind of our official end to summer, even though it's not technically the end of summer, but it is technically the end of summer because everyone goes back to school. Well, kids go back to school. Anyway, it was beautiful weather, and I hope you also had a lovely long weekend and it was beautiful weather. I hope you are having a wonderful week, and we'll have another lovely weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any of those would be welcome. All of them would be deeply, deeply appreciated, and I will see you in the next one.